Shalom, it's Friday again. Shabbat Shalom. This this week it's Parashat Chayei Sara. And in our parasha we are introduced to a brand new character, Rivka. Rivka is the future wife of Yitzchak, the mother of Esav and Ishmael. And I want to take a little dive into the parasha together with you to uncover a very interesting midah, very interesting character trait of Rivka that I think we need to develop more. When Eliezer, according to the Midrash, Eved Avraham, according to the Pshat, when the servant of Avraham is going to Haran to get a wife for Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, he stands at the well and he decides to test the local maidens to see who will be a charitable woman, who will do the right thing and is worthy of marrying into the family of Avraham. If we actually look at the Psukim, we'll notice an interesting pattern. Indeed, we find Eved Avraham saying, Vayomar Adonai Elohei Adoni Avraham. God, the God of my master Avraham, Hakrena lefanai hayom, please bring her forth to me today, ve'aseh chesed im Adoni Avraham. Please do chesed with my master Avraham. Chesed means charity. And indeed, we see that Avraham Avinu is, in many ways, the embodiment of the word chesed. Chesed la'Avraham. Indeed, Avraham Avinu is Mr. Charity. He is the person of tzedakah and mishpat, but mostly tzedakah. He invites in people, random people, into his house. He tries and helps everyone, including Sodom. He is Mr. Charity. Indeed, we see later on in the story, when the servant turns to Hashem again, and he says, Uba eda ki asita chesed im Adoni. And thus I will know that you have done chesed with my master. You have done charity with my master by bringing forth the correct wife for his son, Yitzchak. And then we meet Rivka. רבקה יוצאת אשר יולדה לבתואל בת מלכה אשת נחור אחי אברהם וקדה על שכמה. We find Rivka going down to the well. We hear about her pedigree. She is from the family of Avraham. This is a perfect match. And now all we need to see is she crooked like her brother Lavan? Will she be a bad influence on Yitzchak? Or is she charitable like Avraham? And she passes the test with flying colors. The Eved Avraham only asked that she would give him a drink and that she would maybe give his camels a drink. And instead, she gives him a drink and she gives his camels a drink and makes sure to draw off the water from the well to give to every single one of them. And I think this is something that most people forget. She also invites him into her father's house. After he says, is there a place for us to stay? Could we potentially stay around? She says, indeed, come in, please. There's plenty of room for you and for your men and for your camels. Come stay with us. Very much reminiscent of the chesed of Avraham Avinu. But I noticed something interesting in the parasha. When Eliezer gives, or in this case, the pshat of Eved Avraham, thanks Hashem, and indeed, the servant bows down to God. Vayomer Baruch Adonai Elohei Adoni Avraham. Blessed is Hashem, the God of my master Avraham. Asher lo azav chasdo, who did not abandon the charity. Ve'amito me'im Adoni. He gave not only charity, but he's also given Emet. Emet is truth. Suddenly, with the emergence of the entrance of Rivka into this house, we no longer deal only in charity and chesed, in kindness. We also deal in truth. And beautifully, later on, when we see the servant describing his story to her family, ve'ata im yeshchem osim chesed ve'emet et Adoni hagidu li. If you are willing to do chesed ve'emet, as in do charity and truth with me, then please send me back with Rivka, and I want to go through with this and take her back to marry Yitzchak. From this moment onwards, we have the introduction of the term Emet. As it so happens, Emet does not appear in the Tanakh until this story. This story is introducing Emet. If Avraham Avinu is Chesed, Rivka is the first introduction to the world of Emet. Emet is truth. Emet is maybe even the hard truth. Emet very often can go together with chesed, charity, and truth. It is correct. It is the true thing to do. It is the right thing to do. But sometimes emet and chesed can go in opposite directions. The truth is you do not deserve anything. The charity, the chesed, will be to go, as they say in Chazalic terms, lifnim mishurat adin, to go beyond the letter of the law, to go and be lenient. That is chesed. But emet is the truth, and emet is strong. Now, beautifully, we find that Hashem in the Yud Gimel Midot is described as Verav Chesed Ve'emet. Hashem has both Chesed and Emet. And I'm sure if you went into the deeper Kabbalistic understandings of the different Sfirot in each one, what the Kabbalistic representation of Chesed and Emet, there's a lot more to unpack here. But beautifully, I think when we come back to the character of Rivka very much is a person of Emet. She stands for what she believes in. If she sees that her husband Yitzchak is going to give the brachot, as we will see in our next parasha, the wrong bracha to the wrong son, she'll stand up for it and she'll make sure that that doesn't happen. She stands up for Emet. And indeed, we find that Yaakov, her son, also will repeat this combination. Katonti mikol chasadim, right? Mikol ha'emet asher asita imadi. We find that Yaakov, her son, is internalizing both the message of Avraham Avinu, but also the message of Rivka. And if you think about it, comparing Rivka to her brother Lavan is the trickster. He is the person who constantly lies, constantly, as we would say today, gaslights. It's Yaakov saying, what are you talking about? This is how we've always done this. What do you mean? I didn't do anything wrong. It's all you. Well, Rivka is Emet. And the beauty of Rivka, as Chazal say, she is a tzadeket bat reshaim. She is a pure and righteous person, despite coming from a background which maybe is the exact opposite. That is a beautiful message that I think that we have in our parasha. And I want to just leave you with one last little vignette. And here I want to encourage you, to challenge you to help me. I want to understand this. If any of you have any ideas on this, I'd very much appreciate your thought. You can write in the comments, or you can personally message me. And I noticed something very interesting in the numbers of the parasha. At the very end of the parasha, we have the sons of Yishmael. And it says explicitly that there are 12 sons to Yishmael. We also find in the next parasha that he also has a daughter, Machalat. So there are 12 sons and a daughter, number 13. If we actually look back to the end of last parasha, we find that Nachor, Abraham's brother, also ended up having 12 sons. And we also mention in the list there, Milcah, also the daughter of Betuel, right? If I'm not mistaken, we mentioned Rivka, the daughter of Betuel. And so the question is, why are we constantly mentioning 12 sons and a daughter? And by the way, this isn't the only place where we have 12 sons and a daughter. In our Jewish family, Yaakov has 12 sons and Dinah and a daughter. Again, 12 boys and a girl, 13 in all. So if any of you have any ideas as to what is the significance of the number 12 and the daughter, I'm sure there's probably something interesting going on behind the scenes here, but I'm raising the question and crowdsourcing it to you. If any of you have a good idea, I'd love to hear some thoughts. And that's it. So I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and hope that we are able to internalize in our life both the Chesed element and the Emet, sometimes Chazal connected to the term Gevura, both the Chesed, the charity, and the truth, and be able to find the fine line between the charity and the truth, both to our surroundings, but also when we refer to ourselves. Shabbat Shalom.